Hi, I'm Norm Lewis, and you're watching the Broadway.com show.
Welcome to the Broadway.com show, our weekly recap of the headlines heating up the Great White Way this summer, or as we like to think of it, that thing that grows our IMDb page. Let's kick it off with the news. What's the buzz, Ryan?
We just can't get enough Woody Allen right now. We were already excited to check out his latest flick, Blue Jasmine, which is an update on A Streetcar Named Desire, starring Cate Blanchett and Bobby Cannavale. And we can't wait to see Zach Braff make his Broadway debut in Bullets Over Broadway next spring. But now, the legendary filmmaker has turned his and our attention to his next film, which he's filming in the south of France and will feature a boatload of stage stars, including Jeremy Shamos, Hamish Linklater, Marcia Gay Harden, Jackie Weaver, and Eileen Atkins. All we know is that it's a period film and the plot unfolds in the 1920s to 1930s era, and we hope hilarity will ensue.
Cicely Tyson, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Vanessa Williams have been taking the trip to Bountiful all summer long, and they've had so much fun on their journey, they've decided to stay on Broadway through October 9th. No word yet on who is going to replace Tony nominee Condola Rashad, who begins performances in Romeo and Juliet on August 24th. But the good news is, you still have plenty of time to check out the new revival of Horton Foote's Texas drama. But whatever you do, bring tissues. A giant box of tissues.
If Chicago's Roxy Hart were around in 2013, she'd probably be a reality TV vet and pop star, right? So it kind of makes sense that Ashlee Simpson, who previously played Roxy on Broadway and the West End, will headline the musical at the Hollywood Bowl. Simpson joins True Blood Stephen Moyer and Les Mis movie star Samantha Barks in the Brooke Shields-directed revival, which runs from July 26th through the 28th. That's only 3 performances, so catch it while you can, and all that jazz.
There's a once reunion this week at 54 Below as Tony nominee Elizabeth A. Davis reteams with Tony winner Steve Kazee for his return engagement at the Broadway nightclub Hotspot. Davis will join Kazee's onstage band, the Shiny Liars, where she'll play violin as her former once co-star performs his alt-country concert through July 13th. We're falling slowly in love with the idea of seeing these two together on stage again. And we haven't even started drinking. Yet.
We've grown accustomed to his face in A-list movies, and now Ralph Fiennes may be headed to Broadway next year as Henry Higgins in My Fair Lady. There's no question that the Tony-winning actor could turn any Cockney flower girl into a well-spoken lady. But who should play his Eliza now that Anne Hathaway is bowed out? Anna Kendrick would give the role some star power, and once vet Kristen Milioti would be simply divine. Let the dream casting begin.
Hi, I'm Ashley Brown, and you're watching the Broadway.com show.
Pippin is known for its circus-themed stunts, not so much for its audience involvement. But a theater goer in the front row accidentally became part of the acrobatic action Sunday night. Tony winner Patina Miller tweeted, "To the lovely young lady sitting front row, we are very sorry. Hashtag hula hoops out of control, hashtag sweaty hands." Well, that's the beauty of live theater and this NYC heat, apparently. You can follow this sweaty-palmed leading lady at Patina Miller.
Thumbs up to the New York Musical Theater Festival, the perfect summer treat for musical lovers. Over the next 3 weeks, 30 productions showcasing the work of 1,000 artists will be produced around NYC, from Homo the Musical to Perfect Mothers to The Water Dream starring Anthony Rapp. Will one of these shows follow in the footsteps of Next to Normal as a Pulitzer Prize winner? We'll keep our eye peeled for future hits at NYMF 2013.
Thumbs down to Bette Midler. This week, we were bummed to read that you think you're too old to do a big Broadway musical like Mame 8 times a week, and that you nearly died doing your recent Broadway run of I'll Eat You Last. We've seen you strut your stuff on the concert stage, and we're not buying it, Bette. Get off that sofa and sing us some show tunes, please? Pretty please? Come on, I'm begging here.
Hey, what's up? This is Corbin Bleu, and you're watching the Broadway.com show.
Encores kicks off its off-Broadway summer series with the political musical The Cradle Will Rock. This show about unions, capitalists, and hookers really makes audiences think about life and social justice issues, which is why when we caught up with the cast, we asked them what piece of political theater changed their world. Check out their answers in this week's Pop Poll.
Rent kind of knocked me sideways, actually. Rent was a show that I saw and I thought, I think I'm seeing the future of something. And I don't know that it has become the future of musical theater, but it certainly was one of the most hopeful and beautiful things to come out of the AIDS crisis.
the normal heart at the public. That show completely rocked my world.
I think it might have been this piece. Really? I saw it in 1983 when I first come to New York. It gave me this feeling of how important theater is.
Carolina Change, because it was written in such a real life way that people walked in expecting one thing and walked out moved and touched in places that they didn't expect.
War Horse. Isn't that? It's random. I saw it and it was so moving of theater in the sense of like simplicity and how you can make so much leap and strides with just being specific and small. And it made me think like, get more specific instead of all the grand and grandiose. That's great, but we can affect so much and how simple it is, and just a skeleton of a horse. It's so profound and you're just like, it's amazing.
Emmy fever is about to take over, with nominations for the annual television awards set to be announced on Thursday, July 18th. In this week's High Five, we're counting down 5 Broadway stars who gave killer performances this season that we're hoping get their share of Emmy love. Number 5 is Julie White, whose sharp wit and even sharper tongue ought to be remembered as the best part of NBC's tragically canceled sitcom Go On. Number 4 goes to John Gallagher Jr., the Spring Awakening Tony winner who brings goofy charm and an adorable case of bedhead to HBO's journalism drama The Newsroom. We're giving the 3rd slot to Megan Hilty for her out-of-the-ballpark performance in Smash as struggling starlet Ivy Lynn. Please, Emmy, let her be your star. At number 2 is Mandy Patinkin, whose heartbreaking and powerful turn as Saul on Homeland was one of last year's biggest Emmy snubs. Not this year, Mandy, we hope. And our number 1 pick is Sarah Paulson, who blew us away with a transformative role as a terrorized reporter turned mental patient in the ridiculously good 2nd season of American Horror Story. There you go, Emmy voters. We've already done the work for you. Now you just have to give these stars their much-deserved award season adulation.
3 fabulous Broadway leading ladies were saying coffee, tea, or me last week at the famed Queen's Diner where Goodfellas was filmed. Check out our Hot Shot by Broadway.com photog Jenny Anderson of Orfeh, Allison Case, and Taylor Louderman, keeping it real as actress/waitresses on the set of the upcoming movie musical Life of an Actress. Thanks for inviting us on the set, ladies. Oh, and yes, I would like cheese on those fries.
It's Broadway Smackdown time. Last week we offered up what can only be called a Zackdown, when we pitted 2 TV stars making their Broadway debuts against each other, Zach Braff in Bullets Over Broadway and Zachary Levi in First Date. We're not sure if it was the Chuck fans or the Alvin and the Chipmunks aficionados, but either way, Zachary Levi came out on top with a whopping 97% of the vote. Now it's time for this week's Smackdown, and it's about 2 of the most popular charity events in the Broadway community. Which fundraising function is your favorite? The adorable animal adoption-a-thon Broadway Barks, or the sexy stripping palooza Broadway Bares? That's puppies versus tushies. Tweet your vote at Broadway.com with the hashtag B'way Smackdown and tune in next week to find out the winner.
Our star of the week is not only a Broadway legend, but she's a friend to both man and dog. When she's not racking up Tony Awards, Bernadette Peters is the co-founder of Broadway Barks, an organization that promotes adoption for our furry friends. The 15th annual Broadway Barks event will be held this weekend in Schubert Alley, where you can shake hands with Peters herself and shake paws with tons of eligible pups. Barks has saved the lives of hundreds of thousands of dogs and cats, and Miss Peters, that's why you're our star of the week.
And that's all for this week's episode of the Broadway.com show. We'll leave you with a clip of the cast of Motown the Musical performing a grooving medley of hits from the iconic musical label during last week's annual A Capital Fourth celebration in Washington, D.C. See you next week.
I never met a girl